I'm sorry. I tried everything to make this exciting. I played Dishonored on the hardest difficulty, even though I didn't need to, with no upgrades, and it's just not that hard. You see, when you make these videos, they're only interesting when completing the game is a fairly different experience from beating them. And while it's different for Dishonored, it doesn't exactly require that much effort. You just have to do more shit. It's not like I can rant about how bad the game is, because it's not. Well, it's got a bit of a balancing issue, but it's not bad at all. It reminds me of that other company that makes really good games like this. God, what were they called again? Arcane Studios put everything into this. It's very obvious this was trying to be a breakout hit, and it worked. It sold a ton, won lots of awards, and spawned a sequel. The sequel, in my opinion, is an improvement over the first in almost every way, because the first one feels kind of tame looking back at it. There are two ways you can play Dishonored, lethally and non-lethally. So as you can imagine, you're gonna have to play the game twice to 100% it. Fuck. But there is more to it than that. Also, there are a bunch of annoying miscellaneous trophies. So using my massive brain, I just looked it up on the internet, I developed a plan that makes this as easy as possible, except I didn't because I played it on the hardest difficulty despite there being no difficulty related achievements, but it doesn't affect much anyway. In playthrough 1 I'll be doing a lethal run where I'll be killing people including civilians. You don't have to do that though, that's just me. Except from I have to do this without any supernatural powers other than the one they give you and I can't level it up. I'll also be getting all the paintings, except I won't because I'll fuck it up and have to do it on the second playthrough. And I'll be doing the 2 side mission chains, except I won't because I'll fuck it up and have to do it on the second playthrough. Now as I said, Dishonored is not that difficult. It's especially not difficult when I've played it twice before. Dishonored is a stealth game where you have to sneak in somewhere, kill someone and sneak out. And thanks to its great level design, it's enjoyable and there are multiple ways to approach a situation. But that's kind of the problem. The absolute best way to play Dishonored is to stay above the enemies at all times, kill a guy, and run away. And if you don't care about getting spotted, you can literally do this.
What was that?
What is it? For me!
Take it!
Enemies can't chase you through loading screens, so you can use that to your advantage. And that's it. That's the high chaos playthrough. Dishonored gives you 2 options. It even gives you a lot of upgrades for both options. But if you play this game killing everyone, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's like playing Hitman and just shooting everyone. Well, at least Dishonored has actual melee combat. With design. Skyrim. I guess the only thing that makes this slightly harder is the no supernatural powers. The powers in Dishonored are pretty cool, but fuck me. Dark vision is overpowered. It's basically a wall hack in a stealth game. That's kind of absurd. Oh yeah, I guess that's in everything now. Great. In the sequel, they nerfed it into the ground, which is good. But in the first one, you can see guys from like 15 meters away. You can, however, get upgrades for your equipment and get bone charms, which are these things you can find that will give you different buffs. The only thing you have to worry about in this playthrough are the paintings in each level, which you can't fucking mission select and go back despite there being a mission select. But we'll get to that. And there are the side missions, which are really only on mission 2 and then conclude on mission 7. They're really simple, all you have to do is make sure you do them. Playthrough 2 is a hell of a lot more enjoyable, as it's how the game is meant to be played. For this, you are not allowed to kill anybody as you'd expect, but also, you can't get detected at all. You have to live your life as a true gamer and not let the outside world see you throughout the whole game. But you can save wherever and whenever you want, so as long as you save often, you'll be good. Also, you have wall hacks and can upgrade your teleport. Now, I'm not sure what counts as killing, but the only thing I killed were the river plant things and I got away with it. One thing you want to make sure of though is that you move bodies off the ground in dodgy looking places, because swarms of these fucking things are all over the place.
Rats! Rats! Where the rats?
The game will tell you at the end of each mission if you were spotted or killed anyone, so it's not that difficult. Now bone charms are random in each playthrough. Some might not show up at all, but I got super lucky as one of the first ones I found allowed me to choke people faster, which is really useful as you'll be doing a lot of choking.
Whoa, Squidward, you're choking!
So after the 2 playthroughs comes the miscellaneous trophies, which of course are things you would never do naturally. Okay, that's annoying, but at least there's a mission select so you can't miss it, right? Wrong. For some reason, the achievement progress, for example getting a kill with each weapon in the game, is tied to the playthrough you're on. And selecting a mission counts as starting a new playthrough, so basically all your progress gets reset. This is retarded. Why is it designed this way? This also means if you need a kill with a certain power, you might not have enough runes to get and upgrade the power, so you have to play a few missions to get there. But the thing with the weapon kills in particular is that some can only be gotten if you get the blueprint for them in a certain mission and go back to the shop to buy them. So you're gonna have to play half the game again to get the blueprints you need. Most games have it so the trophy progress is stored elsewhere so you can reload your saves and grind kills or whatever, like I did with Mortal Shell. But sometimes you do get games that are save-based and it makes things that shouldn't be missable, and it makes everything a pain in the ass. Overall though, Dishonored is a pretty good game. It feels like a group of developers having fun and generally trying to make something good. A development cycle that seems to be dwindling in the AAA world. This is also the case for the DLC. The DLC shows the events of the game from Dowd's perspective, the guy who killed the Empress and set the whole game in motion. Cool, that's actually interesting. Reminds me of something like Opposing Force. Actually, it's kind of odd how much of a resemblance Arcane Studios has with Valve. They even have the G-Man. In the main game, Dowd sort of just disappears and doesn't have much to do with anything. But you learn in the DLC he is also trying to save the new Empress, just in a different way. And it's good, but it's still Dishonored, so it's not that hard. Hell, Dowd even has an upgraded blink that stops time anytime he stands still. You still have to play the game 2 times, both on high and low chaos, but there is a catch. There we go, finally, something to talk about. The trophy Enough Coin to Disappear requires you to beat the DLC on low chaos with 10,000 coins. Now a lot of people say to do an additional playthrough for this one achievement, but fucking hell I don't want to play this thing again. So on my low chaos playthrough where I also can't be spotted, I just did it anyway and had no problems. If you upgrade Dark Vision straight away, you can use it to highlight all the money on the map, so as long as you don't spend anything and you look everywhere, it really isn't that hard and not getting spotted doesn't add that much of a challenge. But hell, at least it made things more interesting. I wish I could say that Dishonored was a pleasant experience and for once I was given a break. But no! They just had to ruin it! I can't believe this is the first time I'm gonna talk about this on this channel. I thought I'd run into it sooner, but here it goes. Now, believe it or not, I don't really get angry at games. Video games are fucking doomed. But if there's one thing that I despise and is guaranteed to ruin everything, it's what I'm about to say. It took many years for me to isolate a way to put it, and I came up with a very scientific term for it, called minigame bullshit. I pretty much just categorized this as anything outside of the core gameplay loop that is fucking stupid. Like, have you ever played a game and all of a sudden there's a vehicle section that is randomly hard? That's what I mean. It comes out of nowhere and could end up being the worst thing in the game. But for people who complete games, oh my god, you have no idea how bad it gets. Fucking Rage 1 had a 5-finger fillet minigame, and it was harder than anything in the game, including beating it an ultra nightmare, and all for an achievement. Dishonored comes with another DLC, the Dunwall Trials, a literal minigame collection. Hooray! Now these minigames aren't that bad, they do come up with some interesting things, but 3-starring all of them, which requires getting 30,000 points, can drive you fucking crazy. Mainly Burglar, Bentai Massacre, and Bonfires, which are the ones I'll mention. Burglar is the closest to the original game. You have to go into this house grabbing 6 eggs and as much loot as you can and then escape. But you will get less points if you are spotted or knock people out. So this doesn't sound that bad, all you have to do is learn the map and win. But sadly there is one thing that makes this hard, and that's you get more points the faster you do it. Why? Why have you gotta have a time element? It makes what could have been a fun challenge map into an annoying trial and error map. Still though, it's probably the best one even if it takes you a couple tries. And remember, you only need 30,000 points, it's okay to knock out 3 or 4 guards. However, there is an expert version of this map that you also have to 3-star, and this requires an almost perfect route. You can knock out about 2 guards, but they have all been set to very hard. This took me like an hour, but at least there is some consistency to it. Bentai Massacre tells you to kill a certain amount of people, but you only have a few seconds in stop time to set something up that will kill everyone. Now this minigame isn't that hard and you can just follow a guide on the internet, as this is more of a puzzle than anything else. But the problem is you get the most points by blowing a chain of people up, but the explosions are inconsistent and you might not get that many points for it. A whole game of this takes 20 minutes, so it's infuriating when you are like 2,000 points off and have to do it all over again. Now there are two types of people. People who hate the bonfires minigame, and Satan. Bonfires requires you to teleport to the big light in the sky as fast as possible until you hit 30,000 points, and it fucking sucks. This is because bonfires requires a certain amount of RNG. If you get too many checkpoints all the way on the other side of the map, you're fucked. You're not getting 30,000 points. This took like 30 minutes. But then there is the expert map of bonfires. Oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. Why is this in the game? They sold this to people as DLC. Why? Bonfire's Expert makes it so you don't have unlimited mana, so you have to plan where you jump to get the potions. And there are assassins everywhere that will do this annoying move where they pull you towards them. It's horrible and it took me an hour. You basically have to get a perfect run. And after all that, you're still not done with bonfires, as there is a trophy for performing 6 special jumps in one game, and even though you don't have to play expert, this requires even more RNG. You can get 5 of the jumps and run out of time, just because the checkpoint never spawns where you need it. This one trophy took me another hour. Fucking hell. I mean, you've got to understand, I've already played the whole game and its DLCs twice. I do not want to play this game anymore, making me want this section to be over as quick as possible. I had to take a 2-day break because my brain couldn't concentrate on Dishonored anymore, so I kept fucking things up. If this was required for the platinum, it'd be a hell of a lot rarer than it is. And that's it. That's Dishonored. I don't really have anything else to say. It's a very good game except for the dumbass minigame collection that no one asked for. Arcane are still yet to fuck up. They're one of the only AAA studios left that still make good stuff. Wait, didn't Bethesda just get bought by Xbox? So that means Arcane... Oh, fuck!